Hello, this is Ava from Soul GPS. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, our topic is 10 strategies for dealing with an abuser if you have to live with him or her. Perhaps you're on your way planning an escape, but you're not yet in a position to go no contact. So this video is for you. Before I get into the 10 strategies, I wanted to ask you to subscribe if you're new to this channel. It really helps tremendously to spread this information to the people who need this. And also stay tuned till the end, because at the end I have an exciting announcement for all of you. So let's get to it. So what to do? This question came from one of my clients, and I wanted to address it on the video here because I think it can be helpful to a lot of you. She was basically saying that she feels extremely ill and exhausted. The abuse has really gotten deeply into her. She's under fatigue. She's very tired. It's very difficult for her to do anything other than the practical. And the person is a woman. He keeps pressuring her to be around him to create quote-unquote normalcy, which really means supply. This can mean verbal duels, intimacy, etc. She has said to him several times that she needs full bed rest, which she generally does, but he keeps persisting. She feels that the pressure is just rising. It's going to get worse. What can I say, or how can I respond when he continues to pressure for interaction? I am honestly physically unable to. Every time I even look at him for more than 3 seconds, I literally feel my body begin to shut down as if I will faint. So this is quite common for the people who are still bound by the situation, bound by the home, who haven't yet created for themselves a clear exit plan and are not yet in a position to execute on that. So here are 10 strategies that I have compiled. Some will directly apply to my client, but some will not, and I'm going to highlight those. So let's get to it. Number one is, and this applies to everyone, is stay true to you. So you have to be faithful to who you are. You know, abuse largely is self-abandonment. So this is what the abuser does. They want to undermine your self-trust, and they want to force you to do things for them, so to put other people first. That's what usually is the hallmark of abuse, is put other people first, and then you get a little bit of reinforcement, a little bit of breadcrumbs just to keep the cycle going. And it's up and down like that. You get depleted, and then you get a little bit of energy in a form of attention or approval, and then it keeps on spiraling like that, up and down. So because it cuts you away, it cuts you off from your self-trust, it's extremely damaging to your sense of self. That's what a lot of my clients report all the time. They exit a relationship, or they're still in the relationship, and they feel as if they don't even have a sense of who they are. So this is going to help you undo that, or at least stay true to the part of you that you still feel connected to. So stay true to yourself, meaning rest, self-care, put yourself first. Keep the boundaries up. If you feel like saying no, say no. Of course, you may have to mitigate it somehow to avoid rages, to avoid provocations and things like that. I'm going to get to it a little bit later as to what to do when the person just blows up. Also withdrawing, retreating, locking your door, spending time alone if you need to. So put yourself first. Strategy number 2 is a verbal strategy, what to say. So if she or he are pressing you for more time, for more attention, for more energy, you can just say, this is all I can give you now. And this is honest, this comes from the heart, this is true. And if they continue upping the pressure, then you can always go to strategy number 1 and withdraw and lock yourself up. Strategy number 3 is use the gray rock techniques. I just made a video about that, so you can actually go and look at it a little bit deeper as to what it is. There's also a lot of information on the web about what this technique is. But basically, you present yourself in a very detached, emotionless way to the abuser, so they can't get a rise out of you. Because the moment that you do begin to show them how you feel, they can pinpoint what's precious to you, what's important to you. And this is regardless of whether you get sad or happy. Any emotion emotional display is an indication of what you hold precious. It's like they're trying to read you, trying to figure you out. And once they know what that is, they can do things to take that away from you. So you want to protect yourself by using gray rock. Now, if your emotions are building up and piling up, you want to release them when you're away from the abuser. Strategy number 4 is to sit in their presence and allow yourself to literally fall asleep. This is when you truly feel fatigued and exhausted, and you just, show don't tell. You've been trying to tell him or her, this is how I'm feeling. They're still not getting it. They're still not respecting it. You can just show them. Or if you have a child, you can spend time, let's say that person is sitting nearby, but you can engage with the child, engage in other things to tune them out while they're still in your presence. So you can play with them, you can read them fairy tales, which may allow you a bit of a respite on the mental level, so you can go into another world, in a world of your child. Put on a movie, put on the television, put on music to disperse your attention and tune them out. You can also try reverse psychology here. It sometimes doesn't work. It depends who you're dealing with. What I mean by that is basically you give it to them, they ask for attention, they ask for your time, you do it, and then watch them lose interest, because sometimes they just want what they can't have, right? They're like spoiled children. Number 5, if possible, spend more time outside with friends, family. Libraries are great for that because they're quiet. There are not a lot of people there. Cafes, nature, so taking walks, being in the park, taking your baby out, in a stroller on a long walk. Anything you can just to avoid being in their presence. If you can get away for the weekend to be with your parents, if you have supportive parents, do that. Another great strategy, I've used this myself and it was helpful, is to just wear headphones. I have wireless headphones. I would listen to podcasts and motivational talks, sometimes music, when I would be in the common areas, just so that they can see that I can't engage with them, right? Now, again, it depends who you're dealing with. If that person is, very aggressive, they may do all sorts of things to try to shame you for this or guilt you for this. So just you'll be able to feel this out. Now, if they do that, you can stand your ground and set the boundary and just keep doing what you're doing. And if they turn up the heat, then you're going to use strategy number 8. We'll get there in just a second. Strategy number 7 is don't engage in any deep talk. No psychological conversations, no self-defense, none of that. That doesn't work. That only makes them get into it. That only adds fuel to the situation. They love talking about these things, and because they lack the empathy and the conscience, which puts a brake on when somebody says something hurtful to another person, they're going to quickly isolate your quote-unquote heat points or weak points, and it will drive them. They will hit you where it hurts the most to watch you break down because they have to win, right? So don't do that. Don't engage in it. That it gives them energy and fuel, whereas for you, it's going to only exhaust you and deplete you. So only talk about what's practical and avoid discussing anything else. It may be tempting to defend yourself when they say something or do something. Try to shrug it off. And just keep doing what you're doing. All right, strategy number 8. If things do escalate, don't hesitate to call the police. Pick up the phone and just do it. So many people, they get hung up on how to do it. What do I say? How do I do this? I understand this is it's a big step, right? But honestly, if you feel in danger, just do it and let it flow. Don't be concerned about how you're going to do it. Just tell them your story honestly. If you feel like crying, if you're shaking, say it. Or if you're calm and you just want to be, very, just describe what's happening without getting too much into the emotions, then do that too. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Don't worry about the how. Just do it. The way this often works and it depends on which country too, but some countries are a little bit more responsive and protecting, some other countries not as much. But here's the thing, if you file a report, if this happens another time, then the police is going to respond faster They will also have backup documents that this has happened before. So basically you're bringing the law on your side, especially if this person is going to later try to use the system against you and try to, you know, say you're doing legal proceedings or going through a divorce, and they would try to turn you into the abuser, which happens a lot. So if you have a paper trail, and if there's a recording of phone calls that you have made, then it's, you know, it becomes a little bit more obvious as to who the abuser really is, and that you have actual hard evidence. So do it. Again, don't worry about what you say, just say it. Say what's going on, explain to them what's happening, how you're feeling, whether you feel in danger, and so on and so forth. Okay. Point number 1, strategy number 9 is plan your escape in your mind. You know, think of your future, work on your purpose, project into the future and imagine your life without them. That can also give you quite a bit of fuel, quite a bit of energy. It helped me so much, you know, when I was in that 11th hour, and I was just, you know, because it was so painful to be in the present moment, I would mindfully dissociate, if such thing exists, mindfully dissociate. Mindfulness means being present, right? I was being present in my dissociation and just projecting a beautiful future for myself as to what it is that I was going to do. I would envision traveling, I would envision beautiful Greek beaches, even though, you know, I haven't gone there just yet, but hopefully one day I will. You know, anything that gets you really excited and gives you that sense of, you know, I do have a future. There is a future beyond this, and I can do it. So get your enthusiasm, as faint as it may be. Any tiniest little drop of joy, hope is vital during those times. And finally, strategy number 10, this doesn't quite exactly maybe apply to my client who is suffering from a lot of fatigue, but get busy. You know, in some cases, actually, it can give you energy. You know, you may feel like you're exhausted, but if you just take that tiny little step, you know, the smallest little thing, maybe it only takes you 5 minutes, you enter something into a calendar, you set up an appointment, you make a phone call to find out an important piece of data that's going to be helpful to you for when you're ready to leave. You know, anything like that is going to give you that boost, like, I'm doing it, I'm taking a step forward. So these are the 10 strategies. I hope that they were helpful, and I hope that you know, you were able to gain some value from this. I mean, I tried to give you quite a bit of an umbrella of strategies to use. You don't have to use all of them. You can, of course, pick the ones that work for you. And of course, I'd love to hear from you. So let me know maybe something that you did, something that you have used. I mean, a lot of people read the comments and we learn from each other. I just love when I see support, where people support one another in the comments. You know, it's just such a beautiful thing to do. We're forming a real community here. So I wanted to encourage you to do that. So before I sign off, like I said, I do have an announcement for you. And my announcement is that I'm going to be coming to the United States this summer, and I'm planning to do 2 workshops. One on the East Coast. It's going to be in New York City, and that's on June 1st, which actually happens to be Narcissistic Abuse Survivor Day. So perfect timing. It's also Children's Day in many countries. And since we're all beautiful, innocent children, it's going to be our day too. So the workshop is going to have the format of about 8 hours together from about 10 until 6 p.m. I will be announcing the exact location of where we're going to be doing soon. So if you're interested, send me a note, let me know, so I can plan for the size of the space to prepare. I'm thinking of somewhere around 10 to 12 people. That's the usual space that I like to work in, so we can get a lot of intimate time together, you know, speaking with each other, sharing stories, and so on and so forth. So New York City, June 1st, and then 2 weeks later on June 15th, both are Saturdays, I'm going to be on the West Coast and holding a workshop in San Francisco. So if you're closer to San Francisco, or if you know anyone who could benefit from this event, also do let me know in the comments below, or send me an email to my email address, which is in the description below this video. Thank you so much for your attention. I'm sending you lots of love, positive energy. You can do it. You will come out of this, you will heal, and beautiful, beautiful life awaits. Remember that. Thank you so much again, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.